Yo, what is up everybody? It's Nkito here. And today I'm going to be giving you the only tutorial you're going to need for Breach. And so this will include all his util, how to use his util, how to combo it with other agents to use it best, and just different fun tricks that you can do with it. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to be going over is every bit of his utility, starting with his C ability. So the C ability is called Aftershock, and this will do 2 ticks of 80 damage each, which is enough to kill someone, obviously, if they get hit by both the shocks. So this does take a lot of time to wind up, but it is a pretty useful ability for clearing people out of areas. So for instance, if you're pushing on to a site, sometimes people will hide behind this box, because it's just a hard angle to clear, so you can aftershock it and then wait for them to swing, because they're getting pushed out of that. Now next I'm going to be going over his Q ability, which is his flash. And his flash, it's a really short timed flash, which makes it really hard to dodge. And the flash duration does last quite a long time if you do get hit fully by it. So, Breach's flash is really versatile, because, say on Abyss right here, there's like this huge wall here, and since Breach's flash goes through walls, then you can put it anywhere on this wall, and it'll basically flash. So, like if you flash down here, then it might be harder to dodge if you were to flash here, because it's just hard to see. I prefer doing it higher up, just because it's like, obviously they aren't looking there. Like maybe bronzes and irons will be looking down here because they don't know what they're doing, and so they'll actually see the flash and dodge it. But even radiance is harder to dodge for them when it's up here, because it's just hard to dodge. Another thing about these two utils specifically is that the further away you are from wherever you're trying to flash or aftershock, the longer it will take to do that action. So flashing took a little bit more time than if you were to just flash from right here, and it just takes time to get to it, to get to wherever you're trying to go. So like, just make sure you time that accordingly, because otherwise it can mess up an entire play. If, say, you're flashing for your jet pushing on the site back here, rather than just flashing for your jet right here. So the next piece of util is going to be the stun ability called Fault Line. And this is really good because it has a really long range, as you can see on the mini-map. There's a really long range as to where it goes, and you can do this in any direction. It does take time to charge up though, so it's gonna take less amount of time if you were trying to, say, concuss this side of the box and only that side of the box. It'll take like 2 seconds to just go. But then if you were wanting to stun backside, then it takes a little bit longer. Now another thing is that there is a gap between where it actually starts stunning. So
right there,
as you can see, it starts stunning about there. And you can see this on your mini map, so you'll have to be sure to check. This is helpful for like when you're concussing for your teammates, so that you don't accidentally hit your teammates with the concuss. But it does make it hard if you're trying to concuss somebody that's close to you. Now the last bit of utility is Breach's ultimate, which has a massive range, and it's just a fantastic piece of util for many different reasons. So pushing onto a site, I think, is where it's most useful, because it concusses everyone that it just popped, which would be like from here to here all the way into backside, essentially. And it also launches them up into the air, so like it also can help if you're just dashing on, then they won't be as accurate. Now I'm going to go over different combos that you can do with Breach Utility. I'm not going to talk about combining it with other agents' utility just yet. So this is probably my favorite combo. It's the Aftershock flash, and you Aftershock when you try to time your flash with one of the charges of the Aftershock, because this will make the flash almost undodgeable because you just can't see it or hear it as well. And so it's just super hard to dodge for people who are looking towards that. Now, next combo is going to be your stun Aftershock. So if you stun here and then Aftershock, then obviously they'll be kind of slowed down and stuck there for when the Aftershock charges up. Also, if like the enemy's planting and you want to deny the plant, you can go like this. They're gonna run and try planting again, but because when you're planting, it takes a little while to get out of the plant animation. So it's actually really useful to do the Aftershock first before the stun. Another one, obviously, can just be like stunning and then ulting this side of sight and a little bit higher than, and then flashing, and flashing, and Aftershocking this, and just dumping all your utility so that your teammates can have a fantastic entry on site, and also get a couple picks while doing it probably. Now, a couple tips just for the util. So like I discussed earlier, make sure your flashes are probably either lower or higher, so that they're harder to dodge. Your ultimate can actually knock people off of the abyss. So if you have a teammate plant right there, and you're playing main, you can just ult, and they'll fly off the map. Now this becomes... It's also good for denying plants, even when you're not on abyss, because if, like, say you plant here, for instance, obviously you're not gonna ult anyone off the map, but still good. So like if the attacker, say there's 3 attackers alive and you're the only one on your team and they're defusing, they only have like a second more to defuse and it's already halved, so you just ult them off the bomb and then they would have to restart the defuse, which becomes impossible to do now because there's no time. So yeah, Aftershock is also good for denying defuses and plants, because like if you're doing it here, then that reaches all the way over to that plant, which is really helpful. Now make sure you're just using breaches util versatility. I don't know if that's a word. So like, say your teammates are pushing up, flash on this thing. Blinding. It's not quite a normal flash, but it's close enough to where if your teammates are pushing up here or over here, then they won't get blinded by it. But like anyone that's playing like here will get blinded by it. So yeah, just make sure you're using breaches flashes differently, because otherwise they can be easy to dodge. Say if you flash here every single round, then they might just start like playing anti-flash. But instead, maybe you flash like deeper into this corner right here, because it goes through the walls, and that will become much harder to dodge. Now comboing it with other people's utility. First of all, I'm gonna start on how to counter people's utility. So like, say there's a Sky or Silva dogging from right here, or Silva drone, I mean. Concuss them. Aftershock, you can do that in either order. And first it'll kick them off the dog or drone, but it has a really high success rate of just killing them outright, because they can't dodge it in whatever util they are. Now this can also be timed with ISO ult and Phoenix ult, but it's a lot harder to get the timing down for that, and I am not skilled enough to do that, so. So yeah, your teammate's utility is perfect. So if you have like your Jets dashing on or your Raze satcheling on, obviously just alter so that they can get on the site safely, then the rest of your teammates can push on. Coming your flashes with like arena blind can also be useful, because the arena blind's out. And then you flash while they're shooting at the arena blind, they'll be shooting at it and they'll be distracted, and so they'll be flashed double, which can be really helpful for your teammates pushing on as well. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that you need to know about Breach. If you have any questions or anything I missed, make sure to leave it down in the comments, because I would love to hear from you guys. It's always so fun to read the comments and get the supportive things that you guys are saying recently. So, a fantastic evening, everybody. If you guys enjoyed. Also comment on other things that you want me to post, because I really enjoy doing this. And I don't want to just post something that nobody wants to see. So, have a good day, everybody. Good luck in your games, and see ya. Oh my gosh, I whiffed.
One enemy remaining.
Free out!
Hooray!
Healing over here.
Too late.
Finished.
Planted. Amateur. Flash out!
Enemy spotted B.
Walk on right. Trevor! Shield going up.
It's actually a good wall.
One enemy remaining.